So we just saw a segment which is going to be a regular, but I think on a Monday. But every Wednesday we have Coren Shaidle with Blog Off. Ooh, hello.
Hi, how are you?
Well, I'm pretty well, but there's a bit of disappointment. I'm not looking at your cleavage.
That's
here.
okay.
But you ordered a Chick-fil-A T-shirt.
And this is it. And you're not that thrilled with it because...
It's pathetic. I can't... Where does it say Chick-fil-A?
It says it right here.
It's purple on purple.
Well, that's the style today.
The Spinal Tap album.
It's the... Thank you. It's supposed to be the sort of urban outfitters, very hip idea. But they do have different T-shirts. My husband's T-shirt is very graphic.
Oh, really?
And yes, and it's very nice. They have beautiful merchandise. And one of my 10,000 Twitter followers said, look, if you're in Canada and you can't go to Chick-fil-A, why don't you buy some merchandise online? And I did. The shipping to Canada was twice as much as the actual objects, but I didn't mind. It was the idea behind it.
You know, the owners of Chick-fil-A, because they're these horrible Christian types,
that's right.
They're being very humble and quiet about the money they've made in the past week or so. But I'm hearing that merchandise sales, for example, are thousands of times higher, because they didn't sell much merchandise.
No.
But the number of people all over the world who are now buying it. And of course, the people who go in there. But honestly, Kathy, I don't usually look at another woman's dress. But
that's okay.
I just cannot see. Where does it say Chick-fil-A?
No, honestly, it's right here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. So at a certain angle.
Exactly. I realize.
Big shout out. By the way, it's the camera. Big shout out to my wife. This is totally.
This is work.
This is only for work.
This is
I
work
really
related.
can't. I can just see it at a certain angle. Good, you're really flying the flag there.
Yeah, and they have, frankly, I'm not getting paid for this. They have beautiful merchandise, and it was the best online shopping experience I've had in a long time. It was seamless. It was efficient.
Chick-fil-A, the best shopping experience I've ever had.
I know, it sounds so fake, but honestly, I was impressed from beginning to end.
It was, in terms of the blogs, though, it was dominating news, really, but it was on the internet everywhere.
Yes, but the next day, there was no coverage of it on the New York Times, Dallas Morning News, Boston Herald. There was literally nothing. There wasn't even anything.
Because it backfired.
It backfired, so it was as if it never happened. And I think we should ask ourselves, how many other things are as if they never happened?
Well, this is very important in terms of the blogosphere, because when it initially happened, it was they're bad guys, they're horrible, they hate gay people. Then we had this idiot, this pompous idiot, Adam Smith, who attacked the girl. Within a day or two, even Jon Stewart on The Daily Show said, come on, guys. I mean, I disagree with them, but it's a private corporation. They've got a right to express their view. For goodness sake, this is meant to be America and all that. Then we had the support for them. We hear hundreds of thousands of people, apparently, were going along.
Yes. Some of the photos that I've seen of lineups multiply around the block, cars going through the drive-through, you know, the police have to help them get through because it's stretching out. And it was their busiest day in the history of the company, and this company is not new. No. So it was quite a thing.
Including, I mean, I saw interviews with people, again, it was on blogs, private interviews, with people saying, no, I'm not, I don't actually agree with the guy. I think he's wrong. But you know what? They were saying, this is America, and you have a right to speak out, and I'll probably never come here again, but on this day, I want to show that you have a right to speak your mind on any sort of issue.
That's literally what I saw, too. Even on some liberal or libertarian pro-gay marriage sites, they were saying, look, this is America. The guy didn't even say, I hate gays. Like, there's nothing like that. So it's so idiotic that they wanted to show not all liberals are horrible. Was
if he had said, I hate gays, I would never have spent my money at such a place.
But, you know, what happens is it's like a game of telephone. If you were to only read the left-wing blogosphere, you would have thought that that's what he said.
You know, we were meant to begin with the horrible shooting in Milwaukee. We got to Chick-fil-A, but it's also very interesting that the coverage of the support was very limited, but the coverage of the kiss-in, which we think that the support was 100 times the size of the kiss-in, but the kiss-in got a lot of coverage.
The kiss-in got a lot of coverage, and in reverse, I've seen about 6 or 7 photographs of events. And the people who attended, again, maybe not the people if these are your friends, like they looked very strange.
Including the abuse of the homeless guy, which was, and as I said at the top of the show, they were giving out glasses of lemonade, Chick-fil-A people, to those protesters. Let's talk about the shooting, this appalling shooting that took place. The media seem to concentrate on the man's army service, on his vile politics. What were the blogs saying about it?
Well, yes, I have a policy now ever since the shoot-up at the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C., that I do not post on these events until I have more information, because I've been keeping a very big log of all the misinformation that comes out about these things. So when I first heard that the guy was a white supremacist, he was in some kind of white supremacist band and all this, yeah. I thought, well, they always say it's a Nazi. Well, this time it really was a Nazi. So I was not one of those people who said, oh, but, and I said, this is who it is. But here's what's interesting to me. This gave leftists, anti-gun people, they've been looking for their Timothy McVeigh for some time now, the next one. He's getting a little stale. So now they have their white, I'm going to use big quotation marks, conservative, religious, right-wing, or whatever you want to call it, with a gun, killing people. But the guy who brought down the shooter and killed him was a white Roman Catholic Irish-American cop named Patrick Murphy, I think. It's like something out of a movie, who also, he was in the Marine Corps. Yeah. So you've got white guy with a gun who used to be fighting it out. And I think we need to say, well, if you're going to demonize, you finally got your demon, your Law and Order stereotypical villain, how about you ponder the fact that one of the heroes, besides one of the Sikh men who attacked him with his kirpan, actually tried to, I mean, it's terrible. Why don't you notice that one of the heroes was, you know, a few shades different than the bad guy? At least that would give you something maybe a little bit deep to think about one day, but they're not going to do that.
No, and Nazism is atheistic. The victims of the Nazis after the Jews, the greatest number, were Christians. They want to destroy Christianity, and anyone wants to argue with me about that and debate me anytime.
Yes, well,
the fee is
Warren Kinsella says this proves that all mass murderers are right-wingers, apparently. So he's...
What, like Stalin?
Well,
and Trotsky and Lenin and Mao and Pol Pot.
Yeah, and Charles Manson. Oh, wow, what a right-winger.
That's what he says?
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, I've heard that. He's pretty happy about it. But, you know, well, not happy about it, but you know what I mean. And so, yes, and the other thing about the neo-Nazis in America is that they are actually a lot of them, let's just say, work with Muslim groups.
They make trips to Iran.
Because they both have anti-Semitism.
The far right in Europe and North America had links with Gaddafi's Libya and now have links with Ahmadinejad's Iran. They will go anywhere, and Egypt and Saudi Arabia at one point as well. No, they've said, we support Hamas, we support Hezbollah. Wonderful stuff, but please, in the name of the living God, get a better T-shirt. I want to see Chick-fil-A in bold letters next time.
That's my husband's shirt.
Well, bring in your husband's shirt.
Bursting with Chick-fil-A.
Where is he?